please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Jiggs Bowson.
Hello, Dublin. How are we? So yes, I'm all the way from the UK, and I'm very excited to be making my international debut. And I'm thrilled that my first part of my stage name is also an Irish dance. So I'm looking to get my jigs and reels on later. So my stage name is Jiggs Bowson, but by day I'm Amy Eckert, and I'm a PhD student in cancer biology. So yes, my day job is working out why cancer cells are so good at growing. I know, knee-slapping stuff, right? So my specific area of research is something called mitosis. So do we have any 90s kids in the room? Yes. Does anybody remember the sitcom Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Amazing. So for those of you who don't know, there was an episode where these kids, these school teenagers, were revising for a biology exam, and they found it so boring that they read 2 words in their textbook that said, mitosis is. And they'd read it again, mitosis, and they'd get so bored that they'd shut the book and they'd get distracted and do something else. But you're going to do better than those kids, because I'm going to tell you, mitosis is when a cell, a human cell, copies its DNA, it doubles in size, and it splits perfectly in half to create 2 new cells. Cool, right? So, oh, thank you. That does not deserve applause. You're so generous. But it's the most beautiful process in the universe. It's how we came into being from a single fertilized egg. It's how we grow, and it's how I will repair my scabbed knee after I fall over drunk on the way home. So your cells are incredible, and they're doing mitosis all the time. So, I think this is a great exercise in self-forgiveness. Like, if you mess up, if you trip over a flat surface, if you inhale your own spit, it's okay, because we are the products of 3.8 billion years of evolutionary success, all thanks to mitosis. So your cells are great, your cells are great, your cells are great. Everybody's cells are great. So I think that deserves a round of applause. Yeah. One of my favourite things about being a scientist is you get to work with all sorts of amazing people from all over the world. Like, I work in a team of 7, and just in this little group of 7 people, we represent 6 different nationalities, which is really awesome. So don't worry, I'm not going to go Daily Mail on you. But I did notice something funny the other day. One of my non-British colleagues was making himself a coffee and pouring some water for my tea. Now, I'm the only black tea with milk drinker in my group. And as he poured the boiling water, he looked at me really intensely and said, "Is this okay?" And I thought, why is he so scared? Why such anxiety around me and my tea? And then I realised how historically unreasonable the British have been about everything, ever, including tea, especially tea. Oh, I'm the worst! So I had to forgive myself after that, and I told him, it's okay, you're making tea perfectly, it's okay. But what does make me feel better after contemplating my country's horrible history is when I talk to people from outside my workplace, and they say, "Oh, you're a cancer researcher, that's awesome, you're helping to save lives." And that makes me feel really good, because I'm so needy for attention. So please keep doing this. But I've got to be honest with you, lovely people. I'm really not saving lives. I'm doing a horrible job. It's less saving the world and more begging and pleading with these mutating little balls of hatred to cooperate with you, these cancer cells. You know the saying, never work with children or animals? Just don't work with cancer cells. They just don't want to cooperate with you. They're absolute dicks. They are arrogant, overachieving, just dickheads, and they fuck up my experiments, and I get mad, and then I pour them in the bleach. If only all my problems could be fixed like that. Cancer cells come about, I think this was mentioned earlier, by through a series of mutations in the DNA within every cell in our bodies. And the DNA is like the instruction manual for everything that our bodies can do and what we look like. So if the instruction manual is messed up, then the cells run amok and misbehave. So cancer cells have all these mutations that mean they're so misbehaved, and they don't operate under the sort of socialist utopia that a multicellular organism should operate in. They start living life like a Wall Street stockbroker in the 80s. They're all out for themselves. But their DNA is so damaged, it's a miracle they're even alive at all. It's a bit like those aging rock stars who were at their peak in the 60s and 70s. They smoked and they drank everything, and they're still alive. So they're like, how? That's what cancer cells are like. Like, I don't know how they do it. I had a segue, but I've forgotten it. Oh yeah, so one of the most common questions people ask me is, have you found the cure for cancer yet? And it's times like this I really wish I wasn't a compulsive hoarder, because I can't find it. I've looked for the cure for cancer in my sock drawer. I've looked for the cure for cancer in my pockets. I've looked for the cure for cancer under my bed, and I can't find it anywhere. That makes me sad. I'm really sorry. I'll stop ranting about work. It's like being on a bad date with me. No wonder I'm single. I'm obsessed with cancer. I have that hoarding problem I mentioned, and I'm well on my way to becoming a crazy cactus lady. I had a collection of cacti, but they died. Even the desert is more nurturing than me. My 12 cats are doing really well, though. So I was wondering if you could help me with my flirt game, because it's terrible. It goes with something like this. Hey, did you know that the prairie vole can mate for 40 hours straight? It's pretty good, right? Oh my goodness. So that explains a lot about me, but you know how some people have like what's called resting bitch face, not the nicest term in the world, when it looks like you're grumpy, but you're actually fine? I have the opposite of that. I think it's like resting happy Labrador face, because I'm really good at getting strangers that I've never spoken to ever, to talk to me in public, especially on trains and public transport. And I don't want them to, because I need my introvert time. So what happened to me recently is I was on the train from London to Brighton, and this journey takes about an hour. And I was enjoying my quiet time. And a man gets on the train, and he speaks to me, and he says, "Is this the train to Brighton?" And I look at him, and I say, "Yes." He takes this as a cue to sit down and talk at me for the entire hour. I don't say anything, I just nod, but he keeps talking, and I go home to my flatmates. And I live with 3 boys, so of course they give this answer: "Oh, Amy, you should have had your headphones on." Sweet summer children. Don't they know that headphones are a beacon to strange men who want to talk to women on the train? It's like a magnet. So I wondered if I could biology my way out of this problem. So I had a think, and I read about a species of dragonfly. This particular species of dragonfly, when the females are being harassed by a male, she will literally risk death. She will dive bomb mid-flight and crash to the ground, risking death, and she will play dead to escape this male dragonfly from talking to her. And so I thought about this strategy, not jumping out of the train, but maybe playing dead, so then maybe I can introvert in peace. But I did it on the way to the airport over here, and the guy lifted up my headphones and said, "You'd be prettier if you smiled." I don't like that red lipstick on you. So yeah, don't try and biology your way out of a problem. It won't end well. So, you were promised some burlesque this evening. So yeah, that's where my stage name comes in. So I'm going to change the tone of the set, but don't worry, we're going to warm ourselves up. So what on earth is burlesque? Its definition has changed throughout history, but as we know of it today, especially neo-burlesque, it is the development of a character or telling of some sort of message or story through the removal of a costume. Excellent. So you may be disappointed or delighted to hear I won't be getting too naked this evening. So either I'm sorry or yay, depending on your reaction. But I want you to know that it's okay for you guys to shout and cheer as I'm doing this. If anything, I really need you to shout and cheer as we're doing this. Can you guys do that for me? Incredible. We're going to have a bit of a practice. Can I borrow this stool? Incredible. So I need to take off my shoes. So as I do that, would you guys cheer as I do so? Amazing. And one more. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay, I'm going to cue the tech, but not just yet. So, are you guys ready to see the next part of my act? No, I don't think you're quite ready enough. Okay, so you'll go home to your friends and family, and they'll say, how was the Bright Club cabaret? It sounded really cool. And you'll be like, oh, it was really weird. This British woman just yelled at us if we were ready again and again. Until they kicked us out and Jessamine lost the deposit. So are you ready?